Got a little scared there. I was pinged like 13 times or something in the Squid School Discord. Realized it was because I'm on Team Milk Chocolate. Everyone's pinging looking for game. I've got so many pings turned off that when I get pinged that many times, someone's probably dead. There's probably like a violent crime that's been committed online through the internet somehow. Whew. Alrighty. Well. Oh boy. Just got done on the 20XX analyst desk. And I gotta say, I'm definitely gonna be practicing that a lot more before tomorrow, because the technical side of that is a pain. Holy crap. I hope you guys enjoyed the 20XX broadcast. There was supposed to be a lot more of the gameplay video going on there, and I definitely screwed that up a couple of times for us. So I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to be getting that better. And they've said that they're going to rate us out after this set is done, that they've got going on there. So keep 20XX open, even if you're going to be watching me for the time being, because they'll be coming right back to me as soon as this is all over with. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so 20XX is... they're wrapping up for their... I was told that this was the last set that I was going to be analyzing, the one before this one, because just like on grand finals tomorrow, there's not going to be a break that they have to fill after the tournament is done, So it's kind of like at the halftime show that you get from an athletic sport, like the Whooper Bowl that'll be happening later. So, whew. It was streamed at twitch.tv/Dapple Production, and it's still live right now. The casters are still killing it. So here, oops, that's not it. That's not it. Sorry, there's an S at the end of that. Hold on. There it is. Okay, that one's correct. That is where you can go to watch the rest of that tournament. It's so today was the groups phase. This is the kind of preliminary round. It's a round robin, I believe, and then tomorrow will be the kind of finals round. And we're going to be doing the same thing tomorrow, but hopefully better on my end. And we're going to be able to bring you guys some analysis of top level play, and I'm really excited to see that, because there are a lot of not only like top North American teams, some of which are coming out of the woodwork that we just never see, but also we're gonna get some like top Japanese teams here too. So on top of all of the storylines in North America, there's also the storyline of can Starburst beat anybody in who's top level in Japan. So that is going to be exciting as well. Okay. So, hello to everybody. Hello, Retro Gamer 1 and Dragon Lord 13 and Crystal and Coop the Great and Tolden Tops and Codelactic and Honks the Clown and Devi Doovie and Sam C and Octonoic and Figglebottom and Who's a Grump and Twin Swords and Alex Zora Shield and Splatlord and Lucky Dan and Adamortis and Lunakey and Big Mama Pig and MCat and Philly Airsoft and Gekek Cool and Afro Spook and Nathan and Marshall and JC and Nostson and Pinky. Is that the Pinky who is the TO? Or the Pinky that's the... Probably not the Pinky that's the caster. That Pinky is probably still working. And Basil. And Amber Paper. And Igor, how's it going? And Sauce Sandra. appreciate you being here despite being Team Dark Chocolate. No, just kidding. Team Dark Chocolate, look, I am willing to potentially acknowledge... Oh, goodness. There's the raid. Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody, from the 20XX stream. Hope you all had a good time and enjoyed the analysis desk. They're probably seeing an ad, I would think. I'm not sure exactly when that came in, because I'm not hearing the notifications. But hopefully I've stalled for long enough to be able to say, welcome in everybody from Dapple Productions. Appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for sticking around, despite my inability to use a computer. I do feel bad because Dapple Productions is a really important, you know, event-running organization in the community. They are very professional. They do incredibly good work. And then I bumbled a little bit and failed to, like, have the gameplay up on screen sometimes and, you know, created the infinite gem loop. And, like, a lot of that's just straight up on me. It was not any of their faults. I don't want that to reflect on them or anything. They did a great job, great work. So, I'll definitely, you know, work on that a lot and try and be better for the next time around. But hopefully we were able to at least learn a little something from the analysis. Murphy's Law incarnate, for sure, for sure. Where was the 20XX? So 20XX was streamed on twitch.tv/Dapple Productions. And yes, I will be doing analysis tomorrow as well. And, you know, maybe I'll be like, because I worked, you know, on all of the, I did all the practice and stuff with the streamer who's going to be streaming tomorrow, instead of the streamer who's going to be streaming today. And nothing about that, you know, changes anything, but maybe it'll be luckier, or something like that. But I'm glad that everybody enjoyed, and thank you, Nebula. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for being very patient throughout the whole thing. That was a stressful situation to be in, and I think you carried yourself well through it. So, all right. Yeah, you know, now that I look at the ink color, because before you looked at this ink color and you're like, this, what do you mean? Milk chocolate isn't orange. Now that I'm seeing it, you know, with the lighting and everything, I'm like, okay, I see what they were going with here. I see what they were... Do you call it cooking when you're making chocolate? I don't know if we can make that pun and have it be sillier than just saying cooking normally. But yeah. And thank you so much for the donation, Afro Spook. I don't know why that's only coming in on the thing now, because I know that that went through a while ago. Also, thank you, Afro Spook, for all the gift memberships. That's so kind of you to bring everybody else in. And thank you for the membership. I'm half and half. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Yeah, the donations can get super delayed like that. Depends on... something that's outside of my control is all I really know about how that works. Great working with you. Yeah, and thank you, Weef. Commentators, Broken Pinky and Weef, I believe, are absolutely holding it down. They were doing great work up there and making a lot of good points about the way that the games were running. You know, there were a couple of moments where I was like, I'm going to crib from what they just said in my own analysis. So, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Alrighty, you're having a great time, yeah. Grand old time. So I am going to do some Splatfest matches, because I've played absolutely none of it so far. And I actually really want to go and do some Splatfest Pro battles, because although they are Turf War, Splatfest Pro is one of the only places that you can get a Glico power. So you see your clout score here, but then it will switch over and you see calculating. That's Glico. That's what they used in Splatoon 2. That doesn't involve the letter rankings as far as I am aware. I think that's just a pure Glico power that you gain in this mode. And this is the only way you can get it without it being influenced by your letter rank in Splatoon 3. So I'm excited to play some of those. Last time I was able to make the top 100 list for, it was Team Fire. So I was pretty excited about that. We'll see if we can pull something similar off here. Now I've set expectations really high, but it's definitely doable. Oh, so Debbie's saying join us. I'll definitely. I want to get a pro power, but if you guys are going to be around for another 45 minutes or whatever it takes, I would definitely join you after I get power. I'm gonna turn up the volume in game because I realized I'm not hearing anything. More difficult in 3 than 2. Peaked at 2300 there, now I get barely 1800. My thinking is that the distribution is gonna have... It's gonna be skewed away from the middle. So, like, the people who are in, like, the 2300s or so, like, if you are any better than that, then you're gonna get higher powers. And if you're any weaker than that, then you're going to get lower powers than you're used to. Because the way that the system works is it's automatically going to reward you for winning even if you won easy matches, and it's going to punish you for losing even if you lost hard matches. And so I think, like, that's why part of why we're seeing like a 3900 when 3000 X power felt basically impossible in Splatoon 2. But also why it's still difficult as like a mid-level or low-level player to get similar peaks to what you were able to get in Splatoon 2. It's been an interesting way to see that system arc. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's not... like, it is skewing the results a little bit, but it's not going to, like, ruin the results either. Oh, I'm surprised that hit me. It didn't look like I was in range of that. So, milk and white look really good between each other. Yeah, I'm curious to see what this looks like up against dark chocolate with the purple. I mean, that's already kind of a color combination of the game, so it's kind of like a creamsicle, you know? I kind of like. Does that reach? Oh, that reaches. Let's go. Man, I thought I was going to get someone. Ah! Mike! Okay. That's what was supposed to happen before they splatted me, but okay, fine. We're in a little bit of trouble here. They've got a lot of control, and they've got someone on our plat. We're going to need to get them off our plat and get control back of mid in the next 30 seconds or so, and then be able to hold from there to win a fight. So this is good. They're burning specials now. That means they're not going to have them in a second. Unfortunately, someone went down, and we've got someone in the bottom left over here that we worry about. Oh, okay. At least they traded. If they didn't trade, that was going to be a really big problem for us. I'll flush them out of there. Nope, 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 nope. Ah, I traded. Shoot. Well, it's only one up. Wait, we might have this. This is 30 seconds, and they're 3 down. We need to get some paint on the ground, though. That's going to take a little bit of time as we move our way up. But we're in a good position here. Oh, no. That's 1 down. Let's pop this right away to try and help win this fight, even though we're at a 2v3, because we don't have time to wait for the 3v3. They're so weak. There we go. Well, I stopped their paint output. I was out of ink myself, but that might be a win? I don't think that's a win. Yeah. Some good fights at the end. We just had too little time to take advantage of them. Yeah, White Chocolate won the sneak peek. Wanted to say this earlier, but the VC was blowing up. But seriously, it was awesome working with you. Thank you for trying hard to make the analysis. Aw, thank you so much, Binky. And I do appreciate that. Yeah, y'all are awesome. Yeah, this is my very first battle of the Splatfest. This is how the Splatfest has gone so far, for those who came in and asked. Can you win, please? I need milk chocolate to win. All right, working on it. Working on it. I got you. Okay. Let's see what we can do. All dark chocolate enjoyers type 1 in chat. Blink once if you're being held against your will. If the dark chocolate stands are bullying you into thinking that bitter chocolate tastes better. It tastes more pure. It's more like chocolate. Okay, well, maybe we like the sugar instead of the chocolate. Have you ever thought of that? Nah. Please go away. Aw, they didn't go away. Neither did the player I threw the bomb at, actually. I thought that one was sure. But yeah, that is my stupid American stance on the issue. I'm not in it for the complexity of the flavors. I am in it for the sugar. And I think a lot of people who say otherwise are lying to themselves. Oh. You know, I probably should have considered that with mid entirely painted, they would probably, you know, try and push me across mid. Okay, we got a flank going in on the left, which I like the idea of. However, we don't have any follow-up for it, so that's like a 1v3. That was Dapple Doolies. I started moving in towards them, seeing red Doolies, and thinking, oh, these are Dooley Squelchers, and then remembering what weapons they actually have on their team. Okay. We at least have this area secured. And now we're going to launch specials from here. And we're going to get one. And we're going to get flanked, but they're going to miss, and so we're going to win anyway. And we're going to get them. And now we've got control. This is a really good time in the match to have control, although it's a really bad time to lose it, which is exactly what just happened. Have a good stream. Eating soup? Oh yes, very important. Have good soup. Try and jump in from here. Okay. We're gonna need to do a lot of work here, but this is definitely winnable. Oh no, maybe it's not anymore. Not with that many people going down. I need to get into their base and just paint everything. No way I got them. Let's go. Yeah, but that's probably not going to do it. Man, we've come so close in both of these games. I'm going to be really disappointed by my power. Waiting for Jem to eat chocolate on stream to take after the liquid fire and other sweets. The liquid fire? Oh no. Professor Jem, as a dark chocolate player, we hold no ill will towards milk chocolate. We extend our arms in allyship against the white chocolate blasphemy. This is acceptable. White chocolate, it's like, if it's in a cookie, I'll still eat the cookie. But I'll also be like, okay, but why not any other kind of chocolate? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, white chocolate is fine if you're, you know, one of those cake decorator people who can just make anything, or make anything out of cake. But, like, also, why not better chocolate? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Okay. Oh, cool. So thank you to Pinky the TO, which is a little confusing because we have Broken Pinky and then we have Pinky, both of whom are on production staff, but one of whom is a commentator and one of whom is a TO. They've given me the replay codes for the last set, so we can definitely go and look at those on stream later if we'd like to. Ah, shoot. It was Penguin versus Squidding Good. That said, you know, in terms of culinary measures, you know, I can follow a recipe. It's not like I'm completely useless in the kitchen, but I'm definitely not very well practiced, as I learned from making all the HelloFresh meals. So, you know, as far as taste in culinary things goes, you know, I've long said that, like, if there's an artistic medium that I am just an absolute scrub in, that I just don't know much about and can't talk about very intelligently, it's definitely food. So I don't know. Maybe there's someone out there who's like, actually, white chocolate is the only kind of chocolate, guys. You're being very uncivilized right now. And they're gonna go full Squilliam Fancy Sun on me for it. But I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry, guys. Definitely someone over there that can hit up over ledges, because that's what there always is. Okay, at least I don't have a teammate that I can murder with those missiles. That's nice. Where did that come from? Okay. Oh, there's two. That's why. Okay, well, we can keep them pinned in here and die doing that and not actually accomplish anything. Cool. That's not a great time to go down either. That was 1 minute left in the match. There's a fight happening on the right-hand side, and I need to protect the jump, so that's what I'm going to try and do here. Alright, save their lives. Always a good thing to save your teammate's life, when you can. Alright, this is a good position now. We've got two down. We've got mid-control. That's one. This player's stuck. Oh, and they missed two. Let's go. Okay. We clean house at this point. Not even close, baby. White chocolate is like almond milk, because almond milk has no milk, and white chocolate has no chocolate. Yeah, I guess. Except that almond milk is, like, better for the environment, because it doesn't involve raising that many cows. So, I don't know. I feel like there's a use case there, which there may or may not be. I don't know how responsibly chocolate is produced either. So maybe there's a similar argument there, and that's why it exists. I don't know. Does Gem have a favorite League streamer? Like League of Legends streamer? Or are we talking about like playing League battles? I guess that doesn't make sense because that's not in the game yet. I mean, I'm a fan of like offline TV. Like, I like a lot of those folks, and a lot of them got their start from League of Legends streaming. But I don't spend a lot of time watching streams of League. Like, if I'm gonna get into League, okay, I'll watch Worlds. Worlds is definitely always good to watch, and I always watch it just to see where the cutting edge of production is in esports. But chocolate is generally not responsibly produced, to be honest. Yeah, I figured it's something you get from a crop that is grown in like Central America, which has been economically exploited into oblivion. So I forget if it's Central America or South America where you get the most of that from. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay. We just got this player right here. Who's crabbing? Who's crabbing? But we do this. And now they don't know we're here. And we do this. Great minds think alike there. man. Okay, I'm not challenging a Hydra. I'm not challenging a Hydra. Nice job. Oh, we've got this on lock right now. Oh, the Hydra's still there. Okay, good job, Glitch Luke. Good. That brush is following up really well with us. Really impressed with what they were doing there. Okay. Hi, Hammer. Please go away. Okay, thank you. Bomb? Bomb? Okay, but what about bomb? They didn't like my bombs. What do you think of the Splatfest music? Like the music that plays during Turf Wars? It's solid. It's cool, like, because it's music you don't hear often, so it's hard to judge in the same way as you judge the others, which you've, heard so many trillions of times now. But here it's like, no, this is something you're only going to hear for, like, a period of a day or two. Oh. Where did they come from? Dude. Showing up uninvited. Kind of rude. That's too far. Throw things at the Hydra. Throw things at the Hydra. Still throwing things at the Hydra. Continue throwing things at the Hydra. Yay! We did it! That's how you beat the Hydra. Alright, well, I'm dead, but we should still win this easily. Nice. Alright, that one was really solid. I'm playing Pro at the moment. Princess Nicesis, I think? I'm getting a power first, and then it looks like Devi has a crew that are playing together that we're trying to get for milk chocolate here. Whew. Still looking pretty good there. GG's, Zedro. GG, I was the white ink. Whoa. You're in a lot of games. How do you're so prolific. You play so much. Hello, Gamer God. I just want chirpy chips. True! Correct opinion, Catloaf Man. Once Chirpy Chips drops any track, it's over. It's over for everyone else. GG, pack it up. Is it going to show the power on this screen? Oh, right, it's still calculating. Duh. Ink Theory is High Tide Era at home? Excuse me? Ink Theory is revolutionary. They play kazoo. Does High Tide Era have a kazoo? Will they come back since Harmony is the shopkeeper now? I mean, she's clearly very passionate about her work and doing a very long, hard job to make that shop the best that it can be, right? She's kind of phoning it in there. She's probably thinking about what else she's gonna write for her show later on that night, you know, while she's working her day job at the shop. She's an artist, right? That's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you gotta pay the bills doing something other than the music. I have faith. Oh god. I don't have faith in that positioning, though. Sashimori is pretty hype. Like, especially the arrangement of that, Entropical that they made for the Season 4 trailer, that was just... Oh, that was something else. I see you there. Unfortunately, I didn't see you there. Ooh, a collat. Let's go. Good shot, Diana. Yeet, yeet, and yeet. Hello? Hello, good day. Oh, and hello to you. Yeah, they're a Hydra. They know better to drop than to drop there. I'll take the trade, I guess. Someone did get out on the right. I just want to make sure that that goes well. Okay, good job, Eel. Splat bombs. That was 3 shots. Why did that not kill? Oh well. We've got enough control that I am pretty confident we hold here. That was really unfortunate for both sides that we had double backline, but it definitely made it really convenient for me to be able to move in. Splatoon 2 lobby music was pretty solid for me until about 200 hours into the game. And that was when it really started to get old. And it's like, for most songs, that is like really unfair. Because like, who's gonna listen for that many hours? But also it's a video game. And so, I'm who? I'm who's going to listen to that. Milk chocolate, yes, Sam. What blasphemy have you committed on your side? Backline Battlegrounds right now. Yeah. Yeah, we were seeing double leader on Brine Water even in tournament. Dark chocolate. Okay, yeah. Reasonable. Do you think the DLC... I feel like that wasn't finished. That's not a question yet. We'll have 4 waves. Oh, so there's a theory going around because there are 4 ink splashes on the expansion pass logo that seem to line up with the colors on the wave 1, wave 2. Well, no, I think wave 1 and wave 2 are both purple though. So, you know, I can see where people would get that from, but I think it's just in keeping with the color scheme rather than being a hint, being like subtle foreshadowing that there will be other waves. Or maybe they're leaving that option available. One thing that I really dislike about Splatfests is that I don't get to use Ninja Squid. Like, they can just always see me. Stop perceiving me. Look. I got sniped by Debbie. Okay. Probably should have noticed that, but okay. So we've got Hydra leader and then 2 shots. Come get me. Not you, the other guy. Rude. Well, that was some phenomenal aim on my part. Really proud of that one. Let's clean up the base a little bit while we still have the time to worry about this and not mid-control. I'll get the rest of this too. That should give us... Oh! Okay. We're gonna back up behind this tree. Oh. I was worried there was a bomb behind me. It was actually a Hydra. It's a little bit worse than a bomb. Our base is, like, not painted at all. I'll need to go and work on that if I die here. I mean, I'm very likely to die in the last 35 seconds, and if I don't, then that means we probably won the game anyway, so... Whichever way it works, we've got a plan. Well, I don't think we needed this stuff down here. I think we still win anyway. Streak of like 6 10x battles back to back? That's crazy. I've been hearing of a lot of people getting 10x battles. I was gonna do something. I forget though, so we're playing another game. Splatfest T's main ability for... Yeah, but like that's 6 chunks that I'm never gonna get back and then I'm only gonna be using for like 12 hours. It's not like I need to win a tournament with this or anything, right? Like... I'm more worried about having the gear for when I need it in, you know, a team context than I am when I'm just playing a bunch of turf wars to fight about chocolate. Okay, so we've got... Diana was the E-leader player, so yeah, I was going to say, we don't have a lot of frontline here. Alright, well, same deal on their end. Gonna casually paint right here. Yo, Kyo! Kyo with the 83 raid. Let's go. How is it going, gamers? I assume you guys did fine in your pool. I would think. Kyo is a very, very skilled gamer, for those of you who are not aware. Kind of, you know, one of the very best in all of North America. Kind of good. Was on FT Win for the longest time and went on this insane streak of, like, 6 North American national championships. One of the most dominant teams that's ever been in North American Splatoon. So any team that Kyo is on, they're always gonna perform pretty well, even if it's a major. But really, really good, you know. Kyo's one of those people where, like, when you talk about a player being good, it doesn't matter who's saying, you know, what's going on. It's not... It doesn't matter that the word good is relative, because it's still correct. Like, even if I'm not good at Splatoon, well, Kyo's actually good at Splatoon, by even those standards, so... Well, we're getting locked in a little bit here. I'm still waiting on that update on how they didn't bracket. Oh, hello. You missed. I see you. But other people see me as well, and I'm not a fan of that. Do I get this? No, I don't. Couldn't turn in time. Oh, no, and two of us went down on the right. That's probably game over. We're gonna get flanked out here. Yeah, this is not even worth to shoot down. Man, that honestly accomplished something, but it was definitely not enough. Maybe chocolate is a huge deal in Splatsville's culture? Well, I'm American. That's what I have to say about that. Didn't drop... Oh, okay, there we go, there we go. I actually got the update way earlier and just missed it because chat's going too fast. They didn't drop any games. Cool, cool, cool. That is not surprising. I'm really looking forward to seeing... oh, that's right, because Kyo's playing with, like, a bunch of... top Japanese players, right? Aren't you playing with, like, Niagara and stuff? Hold on. I forgot about that. Flip-a-Flop, I think? Yeah, okay. So that team is possibly my favorite to actually win the whole thing. I could definitely see that happening. I remember watching Niagara at the a Splat World Championship a while back. And being like, okay, like, everyone's saying Melon is the best player in the world right now. But Niagara's team beat them. And also, I'm looking at Niagara and I'm like, I think Niagara is the best player in the world right now. That was how it felt. Just everything that he did worked. Everything he did was unexpected and also perfectly executed. Like, how do you stop that combination of things? Woo! Let's go. Oh, hi. Please go away. Okay, thank you for missing. Oh, darn. Just luck, basically. I mean, Devi's very good at stream sniping at this point. She's had a lot of practice. So, like, Devi's definitely, you know, lobbying up with the timing being intentional to be able to play in these matches with me, but... Well, tunneled a little bit, a lot bit, actually. Hear Devi giggling about that right now? Yeah, there you go. Huh? Oh. Oh, what about this one, though? Oh, no, that one doesn't even land. How about we drop down here? Someone's probably watching. Yeah, they're watching from back there. Ooh, nicely played. I didn't think I was in range yet. So they saw I got too close and just went for it. We have not been able to get out of our block. Just gonna try and play lane for a little bit, get special, and then push out with that. Maybe not. There we go. Got it. Someone dropped on left there. There they are. Oh, they're so weak. I hit him. Okay, there we go. Ah, and I'm down to crab. And we still don't have control of mid. Man, that felt like a really successful push, too. But we're in there. We've got a match on our hands. Oh, not anymore. Now it is very much game over. I cannot access blue ink in time. One more for the road, though. There is cheese in Splatoon, and that's made with ink. Ugh. So ink is squid milk? Squilk. I don't want to think too much about that. Alright, that's got to be pretty close to power, right? You think? Where are we at? Ew. Gross. Gross. I'm not happy with that. I will be better. However, first I must go to the bathroom. So, for the time being, I give you Darwin. This is Darwin. He is the puppy that belongs to Soliart, who is one of my mods. He will keep you company in the meantime. And you know what? You know what? Here, here. Also, have a frog. I do not know the name of the frog, sadly. Together, they will keep you company. Boo. Did I spook you? Okay. Man. I was able to get almost a 2300 last time, I think. I'm slipping. I'm slipping. I feel like I can do better than the 2K that I'm at. Upward trends. Granted, I did get a really lucky placement, I think. Like, I think my calcs on the first one were very fortunate. So, it's definitely possible that that's, you know, above where I would normally go, but I think I can do better. I think I can do better than 2K. Oh crap, I just had a heart attack. Got him. Bro, don't do that. Alright, we've got to defeat... Oh god, Twig is on the other team. Okay, wait a minute. I don't know if... I don't know how well this one's gonna go. Twig is a top player. Got him. We've defeated the other Jerry, the fake Jerry, the imposter Jerry. Got him! Let's go. Alright, we're on their plat. Oh, I could have bombed the splash ball if I'd been a second faster there. Oh, I thought that was gonna trade. I'm totally cool with trading Twig. Like, that is a win for sure. So there's the one down. I'm worried about what's on the left here. Oh shoot, they're watching. Man, I was expecting to see a wall wherever they were. So I figured they'd backed up after they went in there. Teammates. Oh god. Hi. Well, yeah. I'm not getting information before I'm putting myself in danger there. So like they're just showing up out of nowhere. Which is exactly the way that it should go. Okay. You know that oh god. All I can do to save my teammate there and they didn't even live anyway. That's one. If they have a team following them up there, they still win that, because they drew enough of our attention, but... Okay. We might have a shot here. We've got to break out into mid at this point. That is not the way we do it. We did get rid of their wall, so in theory that was a winnable fight for our teammate there, but it was definitely a close 1v1. And, you know, you give the mechanical edge there to Twig, so... we don't want to fight that. Okay. Maybe not. We just gotta rush out and die. I actually got a lot of mid there, but it's definitely not enough. Too little, too late. Whee! See all that stuff in orange and mid there? That was me. So, yeah. final boss of the entire Splatoon franchise. Okay, okay. Let's calm down a little bit, okay? We did just get raided by Kyo. Like, if we're talking about final bosses, I feel like we're talking about the team that Kyo's on in 20XX. Like, if Starburst can beat that team, that's going to be impressive. Like how you fought a Jerry, yes. There's Jerry again. Jerry, who has his numbers in his name. Blind shots. Completely blind. That's how you know I'm aiming predictively. Well, okay. Do we keep... No, we don't. Just get the rest of this, even though that's wasting a little bit of special charge. Oh, hey, it's Rubber. Rubber's a longtime viewer. A bamboo enthusiast. Am I dead? No, I don't think so. Ah, crud. How did... Oh, okay. We're just living here. I was a little bit lazy on my aim there. I knew they were coming, and I just didn't get the aim all the way, and they crossed me up. I should still be trying to go for that squid roll over the side. That's the thing I keep forgetting exists on this map, even though I spent so long practicing it. Got one with that bomb, that's huge. What? I hit them 3 times! Thought I hit them 3 times. Maybe one of those shots missed. This is gonna be tough. Especially if I can snipe them on landing. That would be bad. What? Where'd my bomb go? Oh, it fell off the ledge. Okay, well, that's probably GG. We tried. Do you ever find yourself too trigger happy with your sub-weapon? Oh, yeah, that is definitely a problem. Like, sub-weapons are really ink inefficient. So, you really need to have a good use case. You need to get a lot of value out of them for them to be worth throwing at all. Yeah, we just never had control of mid. It's hard life out there for a snipe rider. Me with my point sensors sweating. Another thing that people don't think about enough about bombs is that, like, let's say, you know, I'm coming around this corner, and I see a bomb go that way, right? Like, think about what that bomb looks like from my perspective. I know exactly where that player is now. That's information. Like, you give away information when you throw bombs. The bomb leads you directly to where the player who threw it is standing. So, like, it's not even that, like, throwing a bomb is just a waste of ink. It can actually be actively detrimental to being able to win a fight later on. Agent 15. Very original name. Like, imagine if there was a player in, like, Mario Strikers or something who made their tag just like Mario. That's what I feel about all the, like, Agent 8 names and stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm Agent 3, I'm Agent 4, I'm Agent 8. Yes, and I am Mario, and my brother is Luigi. Like, we don't do that in Mario games. I don't know why we do that in Splatoon. I guess because they're, like, silent protagonist types, but then so is Link. Link is exactly like that, and we don't name ourselves just Link. I don't know, some people actually do that. There's a really good League of Legends player who's just Link. I don't know if they named themselves after the Zelda series, but they were really good at throwing Nidalee spears back when that was meta. I need more ink so I can splat more people. There we go. Shot just a little bit too early. Now they know I'm here. Now all of China knows you're here. All of white chocolate knows you're here. Oh, whoops. Nope. Yeah, to folks who say, oh, you're spending too much time killing and not enough time inking, I give you as an example of why that idea stops working as that arrow spray. They're just walking around and trying to paint their butts off, and they're going to get splatted in like 3 seconds and end up painting less for it. Fighting is a critical part of winning a turf war, up until the last, like, 5 seconds or so, at which point it is just kind of a sprint to paint as much as you can, because there's less to gain from killing someone. Did we lose that one, too? Oh my goodness, we had control for so much of that game. That's so unfortunate. What do you think of the idea of splatting someone refilling at least part of your ink tank? I don't think you need to do that. I see no reason why that's like necessary for game balance or anything. It's already strong enough to get a pick. Hello? Okay, there we go. You see, another thing, look at the scoreboard right now. I have top fragging and most paint. It's not that, like, I'm just, like, mega outplaying everybody. It's that, like, when you splat people, you're more likely to be pushing towards the enemy side where there is more enemy ink to unpaint for yourself. Like, you're doing more good by pushing into the enemy side than just randomly painting some other corner of the map where they're not going to pay attention and you're actually going to be able to paint. So there is a time and place to like just hardcore paint the map in Turf War. Like it's not like it's something that you can just get away with not doing. But the game is not that different between this and ranked. Like in both modes, the way that you win is by controlling the middle of the map, by making it so that if they approach, you know, 60% of the map, they're actively getting shot at as soon as they get there. Because at that point, they can't paint as much of the map, and now you're going to be able to paint that at your leisure. But like one of the main advantages of painting is that it gives you a special which you can use to win a fight. I think people get the idea that like, oh, it's Turf War, so in Turf War all you need to do is paint the map and then, you know, you're still helping. And it's like you are helping, but you're not helping as much as you would be if you were actually effectively splatting people. So while I will stand by that as a brilliant element of Splatoon's design, that you can be helping without being as skilled at the game, especially, you know, being able to play in combat, it's also a game where the better team wins in the end. And being better does also include being able to win fights. Even on a support weapon. There we go. Oh, shoot, there's someone else here. That's death for me. Want a 10x just for you? Let's go, Rubber! Good stuff. If only I could win a match. Nope, 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 nope. Ah, I missed my chance. Good job there, Luna. I'm just gotta watch out for this guy on the left. That's cleared out. Drop that over there. Flush them out. That lob shot from the tri-strike goes so incredibly high. Like, it takes forever to come back down. Man! This would be a great position to be in if we weren't 3 down. Somebody knows that I'm here. This is a hard angle to fight from. Something with that much range. It's not been our day. The first booyah. Whoa. That's bragging rights right there. Any help for new motion? What? So I'm assuming you've just started using motion controls, and you're asking for advice on the control scheme. So I have a video on this, which is how to learn motion controls in Splatoon. What I do is I sit with my legs at a 90-degree angle to the floor, and I have my forearms resting on my thighs, so that the only thing that's moving around is my wrists with the controller, so that way it's kept stable, and like the natural like shaking of my hands or arms isn't going to factor into it anywhere near as much. And then you just want to isolate exactly like which muscles you need to smoothly move it from straight right to straight left. Another important thing is keeping the elevation steady. You never want to be aiming any higher or lower than eye level unless you're actively aiming at something like up there, for instance. Because the ink will go further, and you'll have a further effective weapon range if you're aiming at eye level, and it'll paint more that way. Like, there are a lot of advantages. And we're just trying to hold these players off and hope that our teammates can get in. A bomb on the back of a splash wall, especially when they're trying to move up, is often a really good idea. Nice. I got a little lucky there. The bomb actually rolled off when I didn't intend it to, but they fell off thinking that they would need to get off the ledge. Landed right on top of it. Let's back up. No, thank you. Alright. Let's get in. Ah, shoot, they see me. There's someone over here. Two summons, actually. Careful, Lucario kid. Ah, I thought I was out of range. Oh, cool. You're there. Oh, let's go! I got the second one. We don't know about the beacon, though. Crud. Man. It was right there. The bomb was directly in front of you. Oh, hi. Okay, they're just not challenging it at all. Well, if they're all just gonna die, I don't know what I can do. There we go. Okay, that's two. Let's go. Push in, push in. We need paint at this point. We don't want to focus on fights too much anymore. Yeah, we don't have enough time. Man. Tri-stick sound effect sounds like bowling pins being knocked down. Yeah, yo, I totally hear that. Wait. That's sick. Yeah, that might be what it actually is. I could also hear it being an air current flying through something. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do by just blowing air through a pipe at different angles and speeds. Okay, yeah, so Oof. I do feel good about how I played on that game. And so I'm going to be happy with that. Hey, there we go, there's a 10x. Let's see what we can do with this. Is that K of Ink Sync on the other team? If they're playing Dapples, it's probably them. No. Oh yeah, strike. So it's a oh my gosh, wait. If they did that, they're geniuses. I don't know if that's even a pun in Japanese though. It's like, is it called an ink strike in Japanese? Like, does that word also have the meaning that it has in bowling in Japanese? Oh, no. The leader is definitely punishing me for being silly. Be a little bit more honest around that leader. What if, comma, they see me, okay. Yeah, it was a little bit too random. I knew they probably wouldn't find me. They are stuck. Unfortunately, I also have missed a lot of shots here. Really bad movement there. I backed up against the wall and just kept bumping into it over and over. Lost my whole opportunity to leave. There. A little bit of a gamer lean moment, but... Oh, crap. Come on. Stop perceiving me! Oh, you're over there. I'm not perceiving you. Stop perceiving me. Did I get sniped? Okay, if I got sniped out of the air from that, I'm not even mad, but... Okay, we do not want to drop in here. Please do not feed at this point. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, I'll try and... Oh, crap. That's an E-liter in a bubble. Oh, hi. Yeah, I kind of just lost this game to the E-liter. Oh, hello. I probably had that, but it was also, there was just no time. Wait, is that? That's close. I don't think we got it, but... Oh, that's not even anywhere near as close as I thought it was. Tricolor battles available yet in the time zone? They should be, I think. So we're pretty close to the end. Or maybe we're not. Okay, right. No, not yet. It'll be 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours before those unlock. Alright, how far have we dropped? We're probably below 2K at this point. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get back in there. I'm looking for a 200-point climb. We're gonna salvage this power. What if Jem was to purchase fast food and disguise it as a HelloFresh meal? Why would I do that? Oh, for the sake of just being able to... I mean, I can eat other things. They're not sending me, like, every meal for every day. I wouldn't want to cook that often. You know, everything's taking, like, a good hour or something to make. I'm not going to spend that long prepping food on a given day. Haha! They rolled themselves into it. Blaster doesn't know I'm here. That was the part where we were supposed to shoot them. Okay, we got them. Oh, okay, that's here now. Oh, I thought I had it. Close one. Let's, get some space here. There's a lot of this that we have not painted yet, and it would be nice to have a special on the way out. So this is a good time to go and kind of accomplish both of those things at the same time. And they are none the wiser. I'll get them eventually. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will miss too many shots to have got them eventually. Teammates followed up, though. Good job, teammates. A little bit awkward, but we got it done. Too many startup frames. Big sad. We win these. Maybe not against the crowd. No, we win these. We 100% win these. Has a little bit too much depth. Oh, we haven't painted the top left at all yet? Okay, I've got to get that on the way out. Crap. Oh, that takes me out of play for such a long time. The second one. Question. Be able to get that out, which is going to flush those players out. Get 2. Get 3. Let's go. Only one is over here. Alrighty. That's the start. HelloFresh question. Does the meter on the left go up when you buy a box with your code? Yes, but slowly. There's like a 3-hour processing time or something like that. So if you've gone and done so during the stream and you're not seeing it, that's why. Because there's just a really big delay between when you do that and it actually updates. So if you've done so, thank you. I appreciate that. For those who don't know, I am sponsored by HelloFresh. We're doing a campaign that actually ends tomorrow. But the goal was to get 10 new subscriptions to HelloFresh using my code. The code has been showing in the upper left. It gets you a discount to a pretty significant margin and also waives the shipping cost for the first box. I don't remember if the other boxes after that, they are discounted after the first one, but they get discounted less, and I don't know how long the free shipping thing lasts. But the code basically makes it so that, like, yes, you're still paying for food, but it costs less than the groceries to have made that thing yourself through the discount code. So if you've ever been interested in trying like a meal subscription service like that, where the way it works is they send you ingredients and you make them yourself, but they're all measured out for you, so it saves you a lot of time. And the recipes are pretty yummy, if I may say so myself, as someone who doesn't know food. Then it's a great way to try it, because on top of all of those other things, they give me money for that, and I like it when they give me money. And maybe you like it if they give me money too. Cooking stream? That was actually something that they suggested doing, but I don't have the equipment to be able to pull it off right now. Once the new camera gets purchased, I would actually have the equipment to probably pull stuff off like that. And I'll have this huge, massive learning curve. There's someone over here, and I'm terrified because I don't know. Okay, they went that way. Oh no, it was that guy! Crap. I thought it was the other one. Okay, we're gonna try this again. But this time we're just going to immediately cut them off from this direction. And now they're going to think they have to go back here, when in fact this is the worst idea for them. But I missed the third shot still. We'll keep trying, because they're going to keep taking this fight, because it's been working. Except that they have help this time. I would really benefit from the rest of my team being there for this. Okay, so good follow through from Ven here. But they just ran right around the corner out of the range. We need to disrupt that left side. Because they can come in from the side at any point here. We're going to try and come up over the top because they're shorter range, and that's what they always do. Okay, cool. Try and drop out here. They're working so well together. It feels like they're maybe like on comms or something, the way that they're taking fights sometimes. Like as soon as I try to engage on the arrow spray, there's always somebody watching that. Well played. They got us. Have you ever thought of doing a full gold aerospray team? No. Or no, let me reword that. I've thought about it and decided that I don't have any reason to ever want to do it. That's a more accurate way to state that. I'm gonna go into scrub gear. So I've got some stuff piling up on the glasses that I don't really want. I'm pretty sure that was a silly comp that we did at one point, like 4 gold arrow sprays on a silly comp Sunday. It's just, it's not it. See if we have any shells. There we go. Festival, or sorry, conch shells. The festival shells or scales or whatever they are. Lovable fish print. Huh. They increase the likelihood that you get a 100x and then a 333x. Alrighty. Seen the leaks of the Mincemeat Metalworks tricolor stage? You sure that's a leak and not a joke? That sounds like the kind of thing that I've seen people make jokes about, but I also haven't seen the map. Alright, here we go. I'm just gonna roll out on the right. Yeah, I'll paint this up. I want to make sure that I don't like leave my teammates in any fights though. So if they start going in, oh, we've got a ballpoint and a leader. They're not gonna be going in. Leave me alone. I'm trying to live my life here. I yeah, nothing but space to avoid that one. Alright. Very patchy in the top left. I'll have to go and get that some other time. So that's a player who's right here. Cool, we can cut that off. And now we're just going to paint the crap out of this so that when they come out, we're going to see it coming before they get there. That's a position where they're dangerous. Nice, that's one down. Let's just try and get up over the top. Ooh. Well, this creates some interesting possibilities, doesn't it? One of them's not playing. I wanna redo on that one. Well, that one, probably. Nope, didn't miss. Oh, I missed way too many shots there. That was like a lot of shots that I could have used to just win immediately. But we've got the rest of our base cleaned up, and I'm glad someone went out and got to the top left, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. This is the position you want to be in going into this last fight. Not to mention the disconnect that they have on their team, but having your base covered by the time you get to this point means that you get to focus for the rest of the time on the fight and not on, like, frantically painting base or something. Because that is the least useful thing that you want to have to do right at the end here. Good start. Just have to survive this, and then should be able to hold them off. Oh, wow, I screwed that up. Teammates in their base, though, so we're fine. Alright. That would have been a lot closer if they hadn't had a DC. Trying for a top spot. I'm trying to... I got top 100 in the last one, and then this round I got a really low placement compared to that one. I was like, alright, we're going to push this up, and I've only lowered it since that point in time. I dropped all the way down to like 1900 when I was at 21. So, right now we're just in damage control. Trying to bring ourselves back from how low we were. Show me the numbers. Show me numbers. I don't think it shows from this screen. Which is lame and silly. You show it from the earlier screen. Why don't you show it from there, huh? I've never played a 333X match. Hey, it's Devi again. Alright, let's get him. They just jump out. We squid roll that. We squid roll it again. We're fine. That is definitely the best counterplay against the killer whale if you can pull it off. Just squid roll to the right, squid roll to the left, you're fine. Or if you want to get fancy, squid roll to the left and then the right. That's advanced though. Let's go, Team Milk Chocolate. Oh my god, wait. It's scrolled up just far enough that I can't see the name. I'll have to go and check that in a second. But thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's way too quiet in mid right now. You can't hit me, you can't hit me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo! There's the donation. Thank you so much, Hydro Airplane. I think this is a $15 donation. I see you. Unfortunately, I aimed behind you the entire time, so I did nothing to hit you. Oh man, we haven't painted our base all on the way out. Now we're... Oh, it's not even the Aerospray that's doing it, it's the E-Leader. There's just not a lot of pushing power on the team, unfortunately. Like, they have a Hydra plus a Bamboo, which is pretty passive, but at least C Junior and Splattershot can both put pressure on, whereas Aerospray not doing as much for us in that regard. And we have a full E-Leader, so felt a little bit comp diff, but GG regardless. Did I say Hydra? Heavy. It's a five-letter name for a Splatling that Devi plays. Both start with H. I'm gonna go and grab a bite to eat, but I will ready up since we are in a lobby with Devi, and just pray that we get a team comp that doesn't force us into double backline position. I want frontliners. I want help. Okay. Have food. An American classic. Grocery store sushi that I'm eating with a fork. Let's go. Ooh. Well, that's a tragedy. It's past its expiration date. We'll make amends for that. Darn it. I was looking forward to that too. Man, I only bought that like yesterday? Or no, it's 2 days ago. Why is it going bad so quickly? It's just raw fish, like... When does that ever go bad, right? Ah, hi. Okay, good job following up, teammate. They did not take the right corner super well there. That's why we were able to get the jump on him. Nope. Your weapon does not beat mine in a fight. Yours might, but it didn't. That'll trap them there. It's a very dangerous way to come out. There's a lot of things that can just kind of immediately splat you if you don't get out of there the right way. Okay, there's a fight over on the left, but if we just hold here, teammates can get over there from that position to support us now. I just want to make sure nobody can drop out on the left. So that would be bad if they got behind me. Crab in mid. I might need to pop a special here. They're weak. Oh my god. We'll keep the rest of the team away because I think our team can handle that okay. And if they can't, then I'm sad. It does not appear that they were able to handle it. So this is close when I was really hoping it would not be. But we can't always have what we want, as I learned with this sushi. Banana. It's not all I'm eating, but it's what I've got right now while the soup warms up in the microwave. Hey. Did you play the Wasabi Splatter Shot in Splatoon 1? I played Splatoon 1 for 2 hours total. And it was after I already had 1,500 hours in Splatoon 2. So, I did not unlock the Wasabi Splatter Shot. And then my cat chewed through the cable that charges the Wii U tablet. So I don't think it was actually my cat. I blame my roommate's cats, but for the sake of politics, I will blame it on Romeo instead. Are you supposed to warm up sushi? No, the sushi is in the garbage because it was expired. Banana. You're blaming your expired sushi on your cat? That's exactly what I'm doing. You heard perfectly. Great listening comprehension. Pro gamer, exactly. I am a professional Splatoon player. You can't take that away from me. I am more of a professional Splatoon player than most top Splatoon players. Alright? This is my job. Kyo, who rated earlier? Absolutely cracked. Playing with some of the best players on Earth in this tournament right now. But he's going to college. He's got other stuff he's got to worry about. Me? It's all Splatoon, baby. It's all that there is right here. I am 100% a squid kid. To be fair, the soup was the backup plan, alright? It was going to be something different than soup. But I screwed that up. I'm on team milk chocolate, Octo Ashley. Any tips for improving motion aim? I have an entire video on that, Mali. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Well, I'm definitely mispronouncing one of those 2 times at least. I think it's just called, like, learning motion controls in Splatoon or something like that on the channel. And you're on YouTube right now, so you could just, like, click onto it from there and find it that way. I go into all the aim drills, the way that I sit, like, everything on that subject. Don't you teach English? Not currently. I am certified to do so, and I did for 3 years. But at the moment, I am just doing YouTube and content creation for, well, it's not just YouTube. It's YouTube, TikTok, streaming, Metafy lessons. There are a few different revenue streams there. You like English? Name every word? I would, but that would take a little long. So I'll spare you guys. Good for you to get off the sinking ship. Oh, God. I did get extremely lucky that the year after I left teaching was when COVID hit. I never had to put up with any of that. I'm so worried for Generation Alpha because they lost a lot of time to be socialized. Socializing as in they're learning how to communicate with other people and how to be in the same room with somebody else and be able to put aside your differences. And that's a really important part of the education system, is just getting people so that when you put a bunch of people on a bus together, they already know how to treat each other. And every teacher that I've been talking to has been reporting much more difficult problem behaviors that they've been dealing with in the classroom. From basically kids being online and not having to socialize with each other in person anymore. Because you're so much more anonymous online. You're able to be more distracted online than you are in an in-person setting. You don't have to focus as hard. It's worrisome for sure. It is soup time, yes. Gen Alpha, yeah, we're literally just going down the alphabet. Like, ever since Generation X, someone thought they were clever to call the Millennials Generation Y, and from there we were screwed over. Like, we're never going to escape the alphabet at this point. It's going to be Generation Beta after this. They're all going to be betas. But all of that silliness aside, like, there's always been just, like, fear-mongering about the next generation, which I think is probably politically motivated once you get to the bottom of it, because people of certain ages tend to vote in certain ways, so spreading distrust within older people of younger people is very common, despite the fact that I do sincerely believe that, like, the kids, as a general pattern, tend to be better than us. That people have always been improving. But there's been a rough patch in these last 3 years because of the situation that the kids have been put in that is just uniquely bad for their development. So I think they'll come out the other side okay. I think it'll just take a little time for them to work it out. But we also really need to get the education system under control, and that's a whole other story. The names of the thousands of generations from preceding history? I mean, that presumes that there's a history of it. Sociology is a relatively new science. Advertising to different age cohorts differently. Yeah, like once you start, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that came out of sociology, that came out of starting to group people into demographics and study those demographics because they were getting statistically different results on those demographics. And they started realizing, oh, wait, we can understand, like, large groups of people. We can't use math to understand individuals, but we can look at the patterns and at least graph those. And so graph them we did. If any among your ex-students recognize you? So I don't live in the same state as where I used to teach. so the chances of running into them are a lot less common. A few of them have occasionally popped into stream chat just to say hi, but I don't know. People don't check in on their old teachers very often. Now, like, there are some people who do that, but there aren't that many of them. And even the ones who do so fairly infrequently, in my experience. So I don't know. Maybe I've got a former student in chat and they're just, you know, lurking, but it's not a very common thing to see. What kind of soup is this? This is cream of mushroom and barley. It's out of a can. Hi, Jem. I am checking in on my teacher. How are you? Hi, Jules. You better start believing in societies. You're in one. God, that's such a good line. Jeffrey Rush is like such a good character in Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my god. He's like such a great mix of over the top and goofy, but also like straight up menacing. He just nails it all and pulls it all down into one character. They loved him so much they brought him back from the dead. Now, should they have done that? Probably not. So that's the problem with society. No more pirates. Now, the pirates, they're still pirates. They're just different kinds of pirates. And the actual real-life pirates are kind of not great or happy. Piracy was, like, awful. You're probably just going to die of scurvy. If you weren't going to die of that, you're probably going to die in violence with the various well-trained navies of the world. Society needs more chocolate. I don't know. I don't know if that's what society really needs. Yeah, there are seafaring pirates too, except now the problem of running into well-trained militaries from, you know, various foreign powers, it's even worse now. That, like, you're just gonna run up against, like, a United States destroyer and be like, oh, this is bad. Like, say what you will about the military-industrial complex, it's pretty effective at stopping pirates against U.S. trade routes. That's about all that we're going to say for it, though. It's kind of a not great thing. Needs more non-Nestle chocolate. Good answer. Holy crap. man. Nestle made me really sad, because we had a neighbor who had a chocolate lab, and they named the chocolate lab Nestle. And we were just like, that's such a great name for a chocolate lab. Oh my god, we love it. And then I found out later in life that Nestle is like one of the most evil corporations ever. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not my Nestle. Sniff. That dog was great, though. We had fun with Nestle. There was a time where we played a game of football, and for some reason, to everybody involved, it seemed to make sense that the dog would be on one team, and that way we had even teams. It was like, this is fair. Like, sure, you've only got 2 people, but you have Nestle. You've got your dog. Nestle did actually tackle me at one point. They just, like, sat on me, and it worked. Like, it felt even to us. It still boggles the mind that that was actually a thing that worked. That, like, resulted in a game that was fun. I just automatically booyah'd as soon as the opponent started using theirs. I heard the sound effect. Okay. Oh, good movement, good movement. We still have this, though, because our teammate got all the way up there. Nice. A chocolate lab? Like, they're researching chocolate? Oh my god. I guess we are playing the Chocolate Splatfest. Your minds have been primed to look for that. The betrayal booyah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's the chocolate lab, where they study chocolate. Whoa, that was a lag spike. That was like that 1 in a million picture of a lightning bolt that you get with a camera, where, like, you can actually see the lightning clearly. So you can see the explosion, the bright effect that it creates for just a frame. Ooh, well, I guess I'm not going up there now. Giving up on that idea. Yeah, the arrow sprays will be out because everyone's like, well, they're good at inking. It's one of those cases where you make a statement that's true, but it doesn't actually mean anything. Why, yes, the Aerospray is good at inking, and terrible at everything else. And it needs to be good at something else besides just inking to be a weapon that's strong in any kind of competitive environment. We got him. Like, my weapon's good at inking. It's not the best at inking, but it's pretty good at it. You know what else it can do? It can take fights. It's not a thing the arrow spray can do. You know what else it can do? Get a special that's going to let the rest of the team push in. Only the gold arrow spray has that, and it comes at the expense of having a good bomb. Which this bomb has. Or this weapon has. Oh, that was an enemy player. I totally thought that was just Devi up there. I was like, yep, we're cool. Saw the flash of light, I was like, yep, that's our Hydra. I know where they are. I'm a very smart and observant Splatoon player. So we've got really strong control right now. Not a lot that we have to do at this point. Like I said, kind of just falls into our lap at this point. But, drop that there. Bomb didn't trap them the way that I needed it to. And if they get in, it's definitely because of me going down there. But they won't. Yeah, this is definitely a win for us at this point. We get one. And then that should be game. Yeah, they were making a good push into mid at the end, but we just had way too much control. There's too much for them to paint at that point. Is it normal to have bad days? Like, you question your ability to play? So what's probably happening is at some point you started tilting and didn't recognize it. That's usually the way that a quote-unquote bad day goes. That something emotional happened, and you weren't quite aware that your emotions were activated in a way that's distracting you from playing the game. Hello, Beb. What was it that made you decide to stop teaching English? The amount of time that I was spending on it. I felt obligated, just through, by nature of trying to be a good human being and do what I thought the students needed. Not by, you know, my school or anything like that. I just felt obligated that if my students give me, you know, this piece of writing, that I give them a certain quality of feedback. And giving that quality of feedback made it so that I would have to spend like 80 or 90 hours in a given week to get their papers back in a reasonable amount of time. It wasn't every week that was like that, but whenever there was a big paper that was due, I was just working Saturday and working Sunday and going for very long hours to make sure that the papers actually got done. It just wasn't healthy. Like, I couldn't keep doing that. I wasn't gonna make new friends that way. I wasn't going to be able to do much else other than my job. So, I left. I think with a much smaller group of students, you know, with a reasonable class size, I would still be in teaching. But it's just too many kids. I remember, oh my god, one of the first times that I started to be a little bit more, I guess, cynical about the whole situation was there was this professional development video we saw in school for learning how to become teachers for the certification, where they discussed the really amazing results that someone was getting from, I think it was like the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill writing program or something like that. Teacher was talking about like how they are able, what kind of attention they give to their students' writing, and how that brings about better results. And then they get to a point where they're talking about, okay, how is the class structured? So we've got, I've got 60 students total. I was like, wait, 60? Why do I have 180 if this is the result that you're expecting of me? With 60 students, I would be doing a phenomenal job. I do fully believe that. But I can't afford to spend that much time on my job. If I'm going to be, you know, giving someone that much attention, I need fewer students. And that's just not the way the system's set up at the moment. There are definitely ways to manage that workload that people have found that are better than what I found, you know. I was still fairly new as a teacher before I left. There's still a lot of things that I had to learn. That was a really good bomb trap there. Definitely, you know, keep that one in mind if you have splat bombs. No. I think we lose. There are definitely people who have found better work-life balances than that, and were able to make it work better than I was. And I know that I could have learned more about that as time went on, but even the veteran teachers would talk about how, no, they still struggle with that. That it may not be as bad as it is for me for them, but that it's still a problem. I don't want it to be a problem like that. Yep, 6 classes at 30. That's what they give you. Or 5 classes of 36 was also a thing that I was getting one year. I had a class with 38 in it once. That is borderline unmanageable. That's not really true. There are definitely people who are capable of managing a class of that size, and also cultures that are capable of behaving in classes of that size. But I am not one such teacher, and our culture is not one of those. What level of education did I teach at? I've taught 6th grade, 8th grade, and 10th grade, all English. Eighth grade was definitely the toughest, not just because of, it was a different school, different student body, but I think 8th grade is just in general one of the hardest years to teach. Right around that time, 7th grade, 8th grade, beginning of the 9th grade, that's when you hit puberty. And that's when everybody's brains start functioning differently. All of the stuff that you were able to teach the kid about being nice to people in kindergarten just goes away. And it's like you're starting from ground zero again. You have to completely rebuild their moral framework because they're now capable of thinking better. And they're not going to listen to you just because you're an adult anymore. It's like we do, to be fair, kind of just manipulate children into being better people at first. Like, that's what a parent does. They're just, like, being bigger and scarier and saying, no, you don't do that. You don't do that because I am mom, and you will listen to me. And so, like, it's reasonable for a kid at a certain point to not, you know, value that kind of instruction anymore. Nice shots. We're really in control right now. But also that means that, like, everything that they've learned is going to get challenged, down to the most basic levels. Middle schoolers will do some things that are, like, way stupider than what you will see 5th graders doing. They didn't recognize that I'm here, so I'm going to cut them off. Unfortunately, they have a crab tank. So by cut them off, I mean I'm going to feed into them. And now we're actually in neutral after having been winning the game the entire time. Okay, let's go team. Nice. Okay, we're back. We're good. Crisis averted. There we go. Do those go off still? Nice, those go off still. We got 2 tri-strikes off in that area, and we didn't even overlap them. Oh my god. Look at that right there. That's beautiful. English teacher. Insisted on the no, there's no wrong question thing, but when I did get a problem and asked about it in class, called me dumb. Ugh. That is a teacher who should not be teaching. As a former child, I agree. How do you get out of tilted states? It takes a good understanding of what tilts you. You really need to break down what the emotional triggers are, what it is that causes you to go on tilt. Like, for me, for example, I get tilted a lot when I feel that I made a good play, but that my team either wasn't there to support it or had just gotten splatted. I feel like I'm being let down. I feel like I'm doing my best and not succeeding despite that. Now that I know that that's a thing that happens to me often, I can go into a game, and when that happens, when that is the mental pattern I get into, I go, okay, wait, now this is a thing that can cause me to tilt sometimes. Am I good? The longer you stay in the tilted state without recognizing it, the harder it's going to get. You can't stay in there because you're going to stew in it. You're going to keep repeating those ideas to yourself in your head. That's what your subconscious does. It mulls everything over and over and over again. I'm surprised they could survive there. You want to drop down there too? I'm surprised that worked, but sure, we'll take it. Oh, that's a person. I'm out of it. There. Nice shot. I always feel pretty good about, like, you know, a tri-strike or something like that when I put it out there and I, like, you know, maybe go down or something like that, but a teammate is able to get follow-up from it. Because then I know I at least, you know, contributed to getting a splat towards keeping the numbers advantage equalized. Alright, well, fine. We're gonna do this. Let's do this. Okay. I got into range. That was not smart of me. You're marked, bro. We know you're there. That's a Zuka. No, it's not a Zuka. What is that? Hammer. What they had. Oh, I thought it was an opponent for a second. Oh! Was not thinking. Oh, it wasn't even the Charger. It was the Dually Squelchers. I cannot believe that we lost the game in the last 30 seconds. That's so sad. We were ahead for so long. Oh, wait, we won? I totally thought we didn't win. Like, look at that map. Does that look like we won? Do you think point sensor is a stronger choice in open queue where communication's a lot harder? I mean, I guess you could make that argument. I don't play to be better at open queue, though. I play open queue to get better at playing coordinated. So the answer is more of like, it might be, but I can't find it within myself to care that it is. Care whether it is. The other thing about solo queue is that you're not always going to be able to count on your teammates to actually follow up when someone's marked. Like, they'll still be more aware in coordinated play. Like, they'll be able to use the point sensor even better than you will be able to in open queue. It's just that in coordinated play, you also recognize that through the power of sharing information with each other over a voice chat, it's less of a priority to have that thing. And it's more of a priority to have something that's actually got stopping power. But I do think that Nautilus is a very viable weapon, and that a point sensor is not enough to just totally doom a weapon by itself. Like, Nautilus is really good, Explo is really good. They both have point sensor. Glad you enjoyed the stream, Ethan. Was that Debbie on the other team? No, wait, Debbie's been playing heavy. There we go. Well, I cut off their escape, but it turns out escape isn't what they were trying to do. Alright, well, everybody died. We're just going to take this opportunity to paint our base. Nice, we got one. I got way too close to them. Fortunately, they also missed. Unfortunately, I kept trying to push him. Alright, so we're not stopping them from getting into our base. And that is a problem. Because the strategy they're using puts them into like a 1v4 situation, and in a competitive environment, it's not going to work because people are just going to watch their angles and not let flanks like that through. But if a flank like that does get through, it just eats up so much turf that you had control of and gives it over to the other team. Well, I was completely pinned there. All I could do was jump out. Someone's getting over on the right-hand side. They can't actually go over on the right, so this point on the left is a choke point for us that we can use. Oh, there's a jump here. I did not mean to anger the roller yet. Stop that. And that is what we do to weapons that have range like that. You back up and hold ZR and win. Very nice. Let's get control of this side too. Stopping a Bloblobber is huge, because the Bloblobber is going to add a lot of paint for their team. Very nice. Here's another way to think about the calculus of, like, inking versus killing. Let's say that I am a Splattershot, so I'm a pretty solidly painting weapon. Not the best painting weapon, but I'm still going to paint a lot. Now let's say that using my superior ability to fight, I, paint and paint and paint, run into, say, an arrow spray, which paints better, and splat the arrow spray. Now, in terms of my net impact on the game, I have not only added a bunch of paint of my own, but also removed a bunch of the enemy team's paint by splatting that player. Whale Mart? That would be funny. Someone genuinely uses white chocolate isn't actually chocolate. I mean, by that logic, dark chocolate is the only reasonable choice. And, like, 100% dark chocolate. But, like, who said that more chocolate is good? That's very bitter. And more expensive. And worst of all, more pretentious. Where's that? That's right. Man, I got 2 shots, then didn't get the last. Fake white chocolate exists? Why do you need to fake white chocolate? Isn't it already fake enough? Oh, hello. We win those, and then we win these. We win these. Oh my god, we win these? Ah! Ugh, we gotta get out of the range. Okay, we got the trade. Let's go. Nice. Nice easy pick because it got set up by my teammates. I'm gonna clear this area out. Nice, we got another one. We're on a roll. You are stuck in the corner. However, you have a friend. The power of friendship is not to be underestimated. Okay, you have 2 friends. Watch the left. There's someone there. Okay, we're just crafting. Well played. Disappointing that we didn't end up getting that fight win. We do still have a chance here, but we're going to be on the back foot as we come in. We need to get a bunch of picks like right now. There's one. Crap. Well played. We definitely lose this. I was a little bit delayed. We got wiped at the end? What happened? Oh. Oh, man. Man, that felt winnable despite the DC. Yeah, those dualies were playing pretty well. I have no idea where my power is at this point. I should drop out after the next one to check. Actually, I should drop out of the next one just because I'll have a lesson coming up soon. Man, I can't believe I learned so much about cocoa butter just from this friggin' Woomy game. You'll notice in that fight, I wasn't trying to hard engage and like run at the player. I was just holding an angle. Because if they didn't take the angle where they got hit by me, they would have to take the angle that got hit by my teammate instead. They had a third shot, I'm just looking for it. This is Carbon Deco. They got a Zuka. So I knew not to get too close. We could have gone in. I was going in. We get him anyway. Oh, crap. I was not expecting the Dynamo to just retreat immediately. Got right on top of me. Okay, we live. I'm out of ink. Oh my god! Ah. I keep doing that right when I'm throwing a bomb. I'm like, oh, I created such a good opportunity for myself, but I don't have the ink to pursue it. Behind you, behind you! Hello? Saved your life. I just want to make sure there's nobody over there without having to get in. Okay, we've got paint control, but we do not have numbers. Drop down, drop down. Ah. Now you're gonna drop down. That's not who I was asking for! I was talking to your teammate, sir! We're just going down one by one at this point. Probably a GG. Probably can't do anything about this. Yeah. I had to go in that aggressively because the amount of paint that I needed to put down in order to undo that advantage, it had to come from their base. It had to be uncontested. But there's no sneaking through them like that. That play at the end, that is how every single flank you've ever had where like a spray shooter or something goes into your base. That's how all of those plays should end, with the entire team collapsing around it and just stopping that player and them being a player down afterward. Alright, and we're stopping right there. Alright, where's the power at? What's the damage? We got it back up by about 100. That is decent, but I'm still, of course, unhappy with it. Because I was unhappy with its high point, and we're still a little under 100 away from that. Or a little over 100 away from that. So, we will continue with this climb at some point, but I'm just going to spend a little bit of time real quick getting set up for the lesson that's coming up. Ooh. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, okay, it's with them. And what was the time that they technically reserved it for? Oh, shoot, I deleted that. That was silly of me. I should have left it. Okay, they are cool with it being streamed. So. Oh, big stretch, big stretch. How much T power? I'm blanking on that one. Reads chat like, why are we talking about hair? I don't know why we're talking about hair. Oh, because Afro? Oh, turf power? Oh, like pro... Okay, I see. I've never heard it called that before. Just getting some communication with the folks who are going to be joining us for the lesson. Check, 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 check. There's the thing above my head. Perfect. Right where I wanted it to be. All right. Tentacle power because squid. Also a valid interpretation, I suppose. All right. Hello, Aang. You are on stream. Are we going to be joined by anybody else today? And you can feel free to DM me if you don't want to talk on stream or anything like that. But you are currently muted.
Sorry, I was talking.
Oh.
No, it's gonna be me, I believe.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
And you sent me the replay code, right? Oh no, it was in Metafy, right?
Yeah, Legacy
the LSL
might have.
match.
Let me see here, because he just sent it to me, just in case you didn't have it.
RM4S.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So I'll get that set up here. Meantime, I am going to share my screen with you.
Okay.
So, oh, and I should check. Yeah, okay, that's still fine. And then I do this and this. And you should be able to see it.
Yes. Yep.
You might not be able to see it for a second because I am looking at the screen so I can read the code.
Yeah, it's showing up here.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. And this is going to be like a team VOD review, right? So you want me to... The main reason I ask is to decide what perspective I'm going to watch this from. If it's more of a team thing, I would watch it from an overhead perspective. If it's more of an individual thing, I would center it on you.
No, it's definitely for the team. It's for everybody.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, it's just that the team captain had something come up and he couldn't show up.
All right. So, you all ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. So, looking at the comps, they have one of the most basic, boring comps of all time. And you're very cool because you have a carbon deco.
That's me.
You win the coolness contest. Carbon does work really well in combination with, like, double splash, especially with the junior, because there's a ton of paint on the floor for it. But this whole comp basically exists to set you up. The splashes are going to take turns being the backliners, and then the one who's not being a backliner at that moment is going to be going, and by being a crab tank, of course. The one who's not taking their turn at being the backliner is going to be pushing up with the carbon to try and set it up in fights. And then the junior is just going to be pelting things with torpedoes and getting you information so that you know where you can position. So all of this is, I think, a pretty good setup. And as long as you can keep enough paint on the ground, as long as your teammates can keep enough paint on the ground for you, you should be a reasonable threat to be able to contest things like the leader with. Now, if they paint defensively, they can make this very hard for you. And force you to play very patiently, and maybe make you have to get picks with the bazooka or something to open things up. But you also have double crab tank to fall back on, so I think I'm realizing that I haven't turned you down in the Discord stream, so I need to get your volume a little bit lower. I always do that with everybody. Like, everybody starts out too loud, so there, should be fixed now. Say something real quick.
Hi there. How's it going?
All right, so stream, let me know if that was too loud still, and we can adjust, but that usually is fine. Okay. Stampers become boring. I like Stamper. It's a long-range zoning weapon, right? It's like a rapid blaster, except it has a melee range option in. So because it has a melee range option, it's so much cooler. That's my take. Yeah, I mean, Stamper's cooler than Machine in that it has Zipcaster, which is actually risky. All right, much better. Sounds good. Alrighty. It looks like you're going for pop, and like Lotus is going for pop, and nobody else is. We definitely want that to be like a conversation that we have with the team about whether we're going to go for that. Because if we don't have that conversation and someone goes down to the pop, now you're just down a player. And so another reason that we want to know that beforehand is so that we know if we're not going to go for it, to spend our time painting for special while we wait. Because the pop gives special effectively to the player who pops it. It's like 70% of your special charge or something on most maps. There are a few where it literally doesn't matter at all. Like Mincemeat is a pointless pop to try and contest. But on a map like this, where there's that much paint on the ground, as soon as the pop happens, that's all getting funneled into the special of the one player who got it. So they're going to have a special ready to go in all likelihood as soon as they get this pop. Which means if you're not going to go for the pop, to counter it, you want to have some special charge of your own by the time you get towards mid. And that way, whatever space they take with the pop, you're able to take back by having more specials than they do. So it looks like you're going in here, and you get one. Nice. If the rest of their team had actually helped them with that, then that could have gone a lot worse. Like, in this situation, I would want my teammates to be following up on this with me a little bit. Like, as soon as I'm going in, I'm calling, I'm going on Stamper left, I'm going on Stamper left. And, like, Ultra, granted, is an E-leader, and I don't know why they're on ground level right now. But, like, what should be happening here is these two splashes should be going after you as soon as they recognize that you're going after their teammate. So what happens with the E-leader here? Like, why are they there? They just... Okay, they just dropped down here. So yeah, that's a weird play on their part to have the leader drop, first of all, and to have the splashes be so far back on their ramp. It's kind of like their entire team is inverted, where, like, you should have the leader the furthest back, the Stamper the next furthest back, and then the two splashes at the front until they get Crab Tank. But they kind of got out of position, and so you were able to isolate one of them. But if they're positioning better, what should be happening is you should be getting collapsed on, and you should need help from your team to make that a good play to go for. And I think that what could have happened there is Cloud or Korean could have gone after you, taken you out, and gotten away before Lotus was able to come back in and help you. So, in future, you know, you want to be calling that a fight is happening so that everyone knows where it is and is following up afterwards. And it looked like they were pretty close on your heels. Just might need to call a little bit sooner so they get there before that counterplay is available. So we get them to pop a Crab Tank, and now we're going to back way up. Off of the backs of that pick, I will say, we really don't get very much. That player goes down, but then, like, we're just kind of holed up in mid here. Once you've got an advantage, like, I guess we don't have any specials to pop, but, like, we really want to start pushing ahead and taking control, because we're kind of just giving them time to respawn. They're in 4v4 again, and since we haven't put any pressure on them during the time that they were at a disadvantage, now they've actually got an advantage in that they've got this Crab Tank. In fact, they've got two Crab Tanks. So first crab is going to create space, and then the second crab should be coming out sometime soon here. No, they're not going for it. Enemy team is pretty split. At any point in time here, you could probably call a play on someone and just go for a quick engagement. Obviously, we have to watch out for leader sightlines, but there's a lot going on right now, and they can't watch everything. Oh, we almost get this Stamper. But Lotus goes down. I think we kind of just need a plan for getting out of mid. We're just getting up to mid, we're sitting behind mid, and we're not pushing out from mid. There have been 2 or 3 opportunities now where we had some time to, like, win a good fight or something like that, where we even had, like, a numbers advantage, and we just haven't gotten ourselves up out of mid. We got to pop some specials, we got to create some kind of momentum, create a pinch play or something like that, but right now all we've really done is get individual picks, and we haven't really taken space. It's the space you need to aggress. If you take the space, then the picks come with it. Yeah, we're kind of just getting backed up every time that we gain any kind of advantage. Okay, nice job isolating the Stamper here. And your teammate does a great job of following up and getting in there with it. And then another one shows up, and you guys are able to 2v1 that. That was a really well-played fight. Now we need to get the Rainmaker picked up and get it moving. It's 4v2. We can just hold forward at the enemy team and expect to win fights. So now we really need to be moving. And this is great. We do start moving. Lotus might be moving a little quick here. I think they're probably going to die off the top of this. Yeah. They probably could have gotten splatted even before they scored. We want to play it a little bit slower there and like use the Rainmaker to flush people out and go and get picks so that it's safer to dunk, because dunking first checkpoint is probably never going to win you a game of Rainmaker. What you need after the first checkpoint is enough space and time to go for a further push, and that's what's really going to get you set wins, or game wins in a set. Right now, we got the checkpoint, but we went 3 down. If they play this quickly and well enough, they can probably just snowball this into getting the first checkpoint for themselves and then some. Because now they've got a crab tank to work with. And now they've got a whole bunch of map control, and they're just all the way back up, and they run it right into the carbon roller. Okay, cool. So we stop them there, but that was definitely a situation where I could see this being played in a different way, to where they take first checkpoint and there's not a lot you can do about it. They do have a crab tank in your base, but they just like sent the Rainmaker in without protecting it at all. That was their problem there. So that was a little bit too easy for you guys to stop, is the way I would put that. Should be able to stay alive from that. Oh, good follow-up from Korean to take that player out. So we trade 1 for 1. At this point, I would actually recommend just getting the Rainmaker jumped off, because it's going to go down there, and we do not want them to be able to get it from that position. Ends up working out, but like, if you just jump it and reset it to mid, that takes them a lot longer to grab it, even if you guys get wiped. Okay, nice pick there. So now we want to start moving up. Oh, unfortunate. There's a lot that you as frontliners can do to make things safe for the Rainmaker, but if it's going to get sniped by the E-Leader, there's only so much you can do. That's just a matter of knowing where the E-Leader is and respecting its sight lines. We do keep the push going, and we get one, which is awesome. Unfortunately, we're not able to stay alive after that first one. If we're going to go in for picks right now, we really want to make sure that we're getting them cleanly, because a trade just means that the status quo is maintained, and the status quo right now is the Rainmaker is in mid, and we're not really that far past first checkpoint. That's not that's like a little bit of an uneasy place to be with the time starting to tick down, because let's say that they were to get the Rainmaker right now and make a push that clears first checkpoint and then gets them like a 1 point over the lead. We don't have that much time to make a counter push, and since it's taken us this long to get through this point on the map already, I don't like our odds too much if we give up the lead right now. So better to play it a little bit safer here. If you see a pick that's easy, go for it, but just like going in after the Rainmaker has been stopped and getting picks, you have to question the value of that when, you know, if the Rainmaker's this far behind us, and is the fight that I'm taking something that even matters? Is this something we're going to be able to use? With an E-Leader watching the Rainmaker from here, even if you're able to like win the fight against these players and maybe have one more player up, that's not stopping the E-Leader from stopping the Rainmaker at all. So consider at that point in time, once the Rainmaker is stopped, maybe just trying to paint a little bit, trying to back up and shark a little bit, get under a ledge and see if you can bait them into trying to push back into mid and getting them from over the ledge, that sort of stuff. Enemy team is back in full force. Oh no, and we try to fight it still. Rainmaker pop there wasn't that important, but losing 2 people to pop was very important. It's also really important for Onkar not to be dying there. We want them to keep their special charge and have a crab ready to go when it's time to stage a real defense. This seems like a difficult position to worry about with the carbon. Nice job. That was phenomenal, and you got out alive is a huge part of why that was so good. That stalls for a lot of time. You don't have the lead lost yet, and this is a good fight for you guys to take. You can get in and get the... we didn't quite get the second splash, but we got the other one. Good job to Ankar. Alright. We don't want this to stay here, yeah. Picking it up is definitely not a bad idea. And we get one. So now, again, we gotta watch out for this leader. We can get any kind of pressure on them, that's huge. We just kind of get caught out in the open there. Like, you can afford to kill some time there. You win the game if time runs out, right? So, no need to rush anything. There's no desperation to be had here. Going in for that play might be a little bit risky. Let's see. I think there wasn't really anybody there with you, so anytime you're going to go in, it has to be really decisive as the Carbon Roller. It has to be something where you're going to get the stop for sure. Okay, it looks like they like outpaint and catch you that way. But the big threat there is a short-range weapon dropping down, not really the E-leader. That's what you got to watch out for there. And they dropped down, and it didn't seem like you noticed or had the right angle for it. Great job following up on the fight your teammate was taking. Like, that is really helpful when you're paying attention to what they're doing. That means that you get a whole bunch of free picks. And great play from Lotus to be following up on this. They don't have to take this fight. They can get out of there. Oh, they didn't get out of there. This is going to give them one more chance. And it is kind of a scary chance because they have so little that they have to do. But also, you can probably go and finish this off right here. Oh, no. So, if... We've got one player who's running at the Rainmaker here, and two other players that are backing up. If we do all the same thing here, we should be able to catch them. Thank you so much for the raid, Lumo Phoenix. Lumo is a longtime friend of the channel, is a salmon run specialist. So if you're ever interested in learning more about salmon run, go and check them out for sure. And thanks for bringing everybody over. How's it going? Anyway, going back to this, we're in the middle of a lesson at the moment. We're teaching Aang and company. So right here, it looks like we're trying to like make a dive here on the Rainmaker. Because Ankar gets one, and the splash on the left is down. Literally the only player alive is the Rainmaker carrier. So at this point, we can totally converge on it. The problem is we don't. One and Lotus just kind of sit back here on the top of ramp, while Ankar is rushing the Rainmaker. The problem is not that Ankar rushed the Rainmaker. The problem is that One and Lotus... the problem is not that Ankar rushed the Rainmaker. The problem is also not that One and Lotus stayed back. The problem is that you didn't communicate and do the same thing. Either one of those options are not terrible. I would definitely say getting some pressure on the Rainmaker here is important, that we don't want to just let their entire team super jump back in, that we want to end the push here and now. So I'm more on Ankar's side with the decision here, but whatever happens, there was some kind of miscommunication because we did not all do the same thing. And we really needed to all do the same thing. If they end up winning here, it is pretty much because of that lack of commitment to going for the Rainmaker. Good follow-up from the team here. I like how you guys are watching for the fights that each other is taking. Like, when Aang goes in, even if it's not being called, even if it's not, like, simultaneous, people are looking at that and moving toward it. And I like the amount of follow-up that I'm seeing from, like, the short-range shooters just being up there ready to trade a kill back when it's time to. But we are in a really risky position, and Ankar now really needs to be in the way. Yeah. At that point, we can't really afford to be that far back with our teammates being down. So yeah, the big problem there was just we didn't all go at once. you've got to go and either commit to the Rainmaker or have everybody holding back, because if people do different things, that's how you get isolated. That's how you end up in a position where even though you're in this like 3v1, they end up beating you.
Right. Yeah,
So,
I was trying to rush her a lot, and I got punished for it several times.
yeah, there were definitely like you're doing a good job of finding those openings against the Stamper, where you can just get them down and there's not much they can do about it. The goal for you, like your what I think you want to work on is making sure that every pick you get is clean. That is, you get it and you get out, you survive. Because if you're just diving in and trading, that's only going to get you so much value for the team. And since the other weapons, before they traded with you, are also going to be painting and like getting valuable specials to pop, that they can use to push forward in a way that synergizes better with their weapon. I would say that, like, it's not to say that Trizuka is bad, but it's not a great anti-crab special. And a lot of the time you're going to be up close enough that popping it doesn't get you as much value. You have to choose between whether you're going to shark or whether you're going to use the Zuka a lot of the time. So,
Yep, that's very true. I basically use a lot of special saver because otherwise I can't get any out on that weapon.
For sure. But yeah, that kind of just came down to a miscommunication. But one thing I will also say is that you guys could have had a push of much better than 68 based on the situation that you guys had. So let's go back to the moment where you get that score, because I think that playing that differently would have made a pretty major difference and made it a lot more difficult for them to get in a position where they were able to win. Here it is. Okay, so we'll back up by about 10 seconds and see how this develops. So we get one, we get two, we're able to capitalize and get the splash, I think? Not quite. Okay. So from here, we've got to play it a little bit patiently. We want to probably get the Rainmaker like behind that pillow, and take our time, throw some torpedoes, get some information, maybe get a crab tank out if we can get one. But right now, we do not control the area in front of the Rainmaker goal, which means that they're going to get free shots at anybody who's trying to go up over the top for the dunk. And so while, getting the dunk is kind of valuable, what it also means is that as soon as someone goes up for the dunk, everybody on the enemy team is going to rush forward. And it just so happens that was that a collat? That might have been a collat on the other two over there. So I think if we play this a little bit more patiently, we can probably get another couple of picks, because they were still jumping in. They were still a little bit disoriented. It just takes like a special going up over the top, or like the E-leader to get displaced or something, and now all of a sudden you have the ability to rush forward and take even more space, and then with that extra space you're going to be able to dunk and you're going to be able to go a little bit further. Dunk is definitely useful, but you've got to watch out for it's actually possible to splat you on the way up through that animation, like before you actually get it down. And if that happens, then all they need to do is dunk, as they've got lead. So definitely not what you're looking for.
Yeah, and three of us went down at that point, but I think, I don't remember, but I think I was using Trizuka when I went down. I was trying to go for the leader, but I also didn't know where they were.
Yeah. It's tough. I feel like you just need a special to get through there. And with that kind of an advantage and with that much space that you guys have covered, there has to be someone who's close. Something that you hear a lot on high-level coordinated teams is people asking about when specials are ready. And that way they'll know, like, when is it going to be safe for me to start moving up? Because like when am I going to be covered by a special is really what the question is there. So
Yeah, it's something our team is learning slowly, because we tend to say, "Hey, I have special ready" when we're using the special, or we press the button to use the special instead of wait and use it after saying that, to see if somebody has something to say, like, "Hey, can you use that here or there," or something like that. Um, so yeah, we're just learning how to coordinate specials. Is one of our biggest things that we struggle on.
mm-hmm. That also would make it so that the neutral game at the very beginning is a lot more winnable if you have a plan for where to use those specials. So let me. I'm going to open up sendo.inc/plans here, and we'll draw up some ideas here. This is Scorch Rainmaker.
Yeah, and one of the issue for us is that, well, first of all, a lot of us are just very used to solo queue, but also because it's so fast paced that coordinating specials don't, we're, in a fight or about to be in a fight because somebody is rushing us, or so that's where the difficulty comes from too.
Yeah.
So there's coordinating specials in a fast paced game.
It's something where sometimes you have to slow the pace down a little bit, but then once you slow it down to the point where you've made a decision, you will immediately be moving faster again because of the decisiveness with which you were able to make that decision. Let me just... I think it's this. No, that's not it. Oopsie daisies. I'm just working on getting the stuff up on the overlay here. Okay. I think that should be enough.
The
transition.
We were playing that tournament, and we made it pretty far into the gold bracket with that team. But the games that they won were very close. So it was just miscommunication on our part, and also not coordinating specials as well. Because there were 2 games that were like that, where we had the lead and they had overtime, and then they took the lead.
Gotcha. That might be a little bit of just needing to stay calm, stay disciplined on defense, to make sure that you're not going for unnecessary risks at a time where those unnecessary risks will be costly. Okay,
yeah.
Let's center it like
and
this.
What's mesh up? Because usually Ankar and I, we're the main slayers, so we move ahead of everybody, while Lotus and Legacy paint up, so that we have a path to retreat. But then I move forward more than Ankar with the splash. So I was wondering, should Ankar be moving ahead more than me, or should I move forward more with the carbon? I am a carbon main.
In that situation, the way that it kind of has to work is that Ankar is your skirmisher. So, like, the way that you get a lot of these picks is that somebody else gets the enemy team's attention, and then because they're looking at that other player, you go in and finish the fight. So, Ankar should be, like, drawing aggro in ways that draw the enemy team toward you. That's kind of the general game plan to be able to set up fights together. If you find someone who's like, so for example, what you caught a lot of the time was when the Stamper would get down over here and would not be like painting defensively, and you were able to just like dive on top of them like this and take them out. That works because they're looking at, I don't know, someone back here. So they're stuck, putting up pressure in this direction or something, and then you just come and like whomp them on the head, and it works because they're not looking at you, because they're shooting at your teammate. And that's the root of all teamwork. Shoot at the guy who's shooting at your teammate. Well, if you're going to shoot at the guy, that means they have to be shooting at your teammate, and so your teammate wants to be getting their attention in some way, forcing them to do something. You're engaging the enemy, as FLC would say. So, we kind of want Onkar to be moving up and like maybe throwing burst bombs, getting people's attention, shifting them around. Burst bombs are pretty good for making people move. It's kind of like throwing the tiniest little non-lethal booyah bomb on a spot. It'll make someone move away a little bit. And that little bit of movements, that little bit of distraction, that's something that you, as the Carbon Roller, can roll up and capitalize on, especially since all of these weapons paint so well. Did you say something? Sorry, it sounded like you cut out maybe a little bit.
Oh no, I said right.
Okay, gotcha. So that's how I would look at that. But what I brought all of this up for was I want to talk about the plan for neutral, because what's happening is you guys are really, really good at taking fights together and like looking at what fight is happening and focusing on that one fight and getting everybody piled on it. And that's a really difficult skill, and that's something that it takes a lot of teams a long time to learn. What you guys want to work on next is set plays. So like, especially when you're in neutral, when you're just rolling out onto the map, you want to have a general game plan for the team that's not just, let's blunder into a fight and try to win it. Because then, if the other team has more of a plan than that, then you guys are going to fall into their plan, because not everybody's going to be going to the same place, and you won't be set up to take advantage of that teamwork you guys have. So here's an idea. Let's say that, we roll out kind of like this, with the Carbon, sharking somewhere around here. And we've got a bunch of paint in like this area because we've got all these short-range shooters here. This is a situation that we found ourselves in, and we didn't know how to get out of it. So what we want to do is kind of get together with the team and think, okay, once we're in this position, what do we want to do? Like, what do we want to take? If there is an E-leader right here, how do we take a fight without being in their sightlines? If there's, a stamper that keeps coming out into this position, is that something that we can punish somehow? We want some kind of plan, and whatever it is, we want it called out on the comms. By default, though, we also want to have a sense that, okay, so we're going to look for a fight around left. And so we're going to get a bunch of torpedoes and a bunch of paint going down in this direction, so the enemy team feels like they have to control that. And then when somebody walks too far forward, Carbon Roller goes over the top and gets them like this. And then we start pushing in from the right-hand side, we shove everybody else up through here, and we take Plat that way. That's basically what ended up happening, but I could tell that that wasn't really that planned. It was just like, oh, there's a fight that we won over here, let's start moving forward now. And that's how that naturally happened. If that's the plan all along, then you guys don't spend like 20 or 30 seconds sitting behind mid, winning fights but not being able to move forward, because you already know where you're moving forward to and who's going to be there to help you, and there's a lot more that you can get done. And that's a play that you can kind of set up a lot of the time. Just as soon as you've seen their comp, somebody can call, I'm going to be trying to push right after we get pop, or whatever else. Or we're going to be calling, don't go for pop, go for specials, don't engage until we have the specials. There's not a team plan, it seems, based on the way that we rolled out and how we were playing that. And as such, if the other team had more of a plan than you had, then they would be dictating the pace of the game. They would be doing whatever they want to do instead of being forced to play the way that you want them to play. Having those kinds of plans is something that takes a long time. There are fewer maps in this game than there were in Splatoon 2, but there's still a lot of them, and there are 4 modes for each one. So it's not something that like I expect you're going to be able to like do tomorrow and just be like, oh, this is mincemeat zones? Well, this is our plan for mincemeat zones. And you don't need a plan for mincemeat zones. If they play it in a tournament, that the tournament is wrong. But focus on especially the maps where you feel like this tends to happen a lot, where like you get into mid and maybe you win a fight or something, but you don't know how to get the objective actually pushing forward. Um, Come up with an idea of like what it is you need to control and use your comp to answer that question. So, for example, there is a problem posed by there being an e-leader on snipe. There is a problem posed by someone being over here. If we have those two things, how do we play around that? Well, we have, this much space here that the e-leader isn't watching, so we can take full advantage of this. And what can we do with this? Well, we can set up for a play where the carbon roller sharks someone right here and then ducks back behind cover before the e-leader is able to look. And so that's kind of what we're trying to set up by making this kind of a play. We're looking at what's the situation and what's really holding us back from doing things, and what's a way that we can, as a team, with the tools that we have at our disposal, handle those challenges and come out with a fight win that we set up rather than that we stumbled upon randomly.
And in terms of comps, I had a question, like what tends to work really well with the carbon roller in terms of backline?
In terms of backline, you want a lot of paint as the carbon roller in general. I mean, an E-liter, not an E-liter, an Explosher would probably not be a bad idea because you'd get information from the point sensors and they'd be able to follow up from a pretty long distance to like trap people and get them stuck near you. I could see that working well, but I don't. I'm trying to think of teams that I've seen running carbons that have also run backlines, and I don't see it very often. I think the carbon is such a fast-paced hold-forward weapon that I think a lot of teams just choose not to. That if they're going to run some kind of backline, they're just going to use a crab tank as their backliner.
Yeah, we've been running some games and scrims with the Explo and the carbon to see how it works, and I don't know. Some games are good and some are not. So I guess it's just a matter of which maps tend to be really good with that comp. Otherwise, it's usually a Hydra or an E-leader, or we just have this comp that we have on this game.
I could see E-leader working. I'm not personally a huge fan of the idea of pairing Hydra with Carbon because those are two weapons that are both not going to paint a lot. And the more paint you have, the safer and more effective the Carbon is going to be. The less paint you have, the more you're just going to get boxed into a corner. So I typically don't like to see like any more than one weapon that doesn't paint super well on a team. So it's like if you're running a Hydra, cool, but run 3 other weapons that paint. If you're running a Pro, cool, but run 3 other weapons that paint. Same with blasters, same with rollers. That's usually my feeling on it, that teams can kind of just slowly walk forward if by just outpainting you, and the carbon never gets a way in.
Yeah, the other comp that we usually play is a C Junior, a Pro, a Splash, and me on carbon.
Yeah, that again feels a little bit just paint hungry on the especially the part of the Pro. Just it doesn't paint for its special very fast. It doesn't put that much paint on the ground. It is a little bit of range for you, but I don't know. I feel like there are definitely other options that you could go for that would get you that sort of long-range pressure without sacrificing quite as much in the paint department. I could even see like a Nautilus working a little bit better there, although a Nautilus is also very paint dependent, so maybe not. If there's a mini you like, I mean, I guess there's that, but I don't know what special you would want out of that.
Yeah, there's the bubbler.
I'm not a huge fan of Big Bubbler on certain map modes, especially Rainmaker. I think Rainmaker is probably the weakest one for it because the Bubbler doesn't move, and Rainmaker does. Rainmaker moves really, really fast. Tower control, like you can put it on the tower, and that mitigates the fact that it can't move because now it can move. Zones don't move, so you can just put them on the zones, and it's not like they're going anywhere. Clam Blitz, at least while the basket's open, there's one particular spot you've got to control. It's still not the best for Clam Blitz, but it's still better, I think, than Rainmaker. But with Rainmaker, as soon as you put it down, its position is probably obsolete in 5 seconds. Even if it's not shredded in 3.
Flame Blitz is weird. It's for some reason it's our strongest mode where we don't really lose that many games in Clam Blitz. And then depending on the map that we play, we have the Forge, and then depending on the map, we have Double Splash, Carbon, and C Junior.
Someone in chat asks, I wonder what he thinks of Squeezer. Squeezer would be phenomenal for this exact problem if it had a bomb. The problem is that with a wall, it's not going to have anywhere near as much stopping power against the Rainmaker. So it's not super reliable when you need to use it on defense. It's still a very strong main weapon. I just don't think its kit is quite exactly what it needs. I think once they give that like a Splat Bomb or something, that's going to be a much stronger weapon, and people are going to start seriously considering it again, as long as the special isn't awful.
We do have a Squeezer player on our team. Yeah, he's the backline, the main backline, but he also plays some other weapons, including the Squeezer.
Because one other thing that I'm not a huge fan of about this comp is that you don't have any lethal bombs. Lethal bombs in Rainmaker are incredibly powerful because of the object damage that they do. And because of the stopping power on defense. It's two very, very important factors that determine success in Rainmaker. Being able to pop the shield and being able to stop the enemy team when they're trying to push forward. If you have bombs, you can just pepper a choke point with bombs and they can't go through no matter how many of them there are. Their numbers advantage doesn't matter because a bomb doesn't care how many there are there. But with this team comp, we have to be a little bit more honest, and we really have to dive the Rainmaker to go and get it. We have to actually splat it with our main weapons most of the time. That's not the most consistent thing.
What is a generally very good comp for Carbon Roller? Because it is my best weapon, and I don't really like playing anything else other than the Carbon.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anything that's got a lot of paint is going to synergize well with you. You definitely want a fairly aggressive comp so that people can move forward and follow up, because you're going to be trading a lot. But if you are the one who starts the trade-off, like you get the splat first, and then somebody else is shooting you after, then your teammates can gang up on them, and it's a 2-for-1 engagement, you know? If you just go in alone a lot, then you're going to get a lot of 1-for-1 trades, and that's not going to do as much for you, because you're not going to have the same special output or paint as the weapon that you're trading with. And that's when a Carbon starts to fall flat, when it's not able to get like clean picks or multi-kills. So you want a fairly aggressive comp. You know, I'm leaning away from the idea of liking pairing a backliner with it or some kind of anchor with it. That like something like, let's see, if we're trying to run Rainmaker and we want a lot of lethal bombs, T-Tech comes to mind as a possible option. Because it has a bunch of bombs to use, but it also has a useful special, but it can also push in. That would be a pretty good pairing with it, I would think. Splashes are never a bad thing. I, again, would definitely like to see at least a lethal bomb on the team, probably 2, ideally. But, like, if you have double splash T-Tech, I can't see that being a bad comp. There was someone who was running a... I think Volti is playing in 20XX, and I think we saw them running Carbon. So you could go and like spy on Volti and see what Volti's team is doing to pair with it.
Oh, I have. Believe me, I have been.
Gotcha.
Volti, very good Carbon player that I watch often.
Yeah, there are a few that are kind of cracked. But it's just tough playing around a weapon because, like, the weapon has such insane strengths that it can definitely be worth running. It also has a lot of weaknesses to play around that can be very limiting on the weapons that your teammates are able to choose. And I'm just trying to think, like, what else there would be that they want to run. I'm going to just pull up my game really quickly and look and think. Actually, no, I've got a list of the weapons right here on the screen. Um, I guess so. One idea is you said you had a teammate who would play like pro with you. While I am still worried about paint output. If you go for Forge Pro, that gives you a suction bomb, and it still gives you a pretty useful special in the Booyah Bomb. And
Yeah,
that could
I
be kind of a pseudo anchor for you.
yeah, it is a Forge Bro. I apologize.
Oh, okay, yeah. Um, that's not a bad way to go with it. Um, let's see what else we've got. Neither Stamper nor Wiper has a lethal bomb, but something like a Wiper would probably be able to be good because it'd be able to go up and push with you and would also still paint pretty well and be able to locate things with the torpedoes. So if someone wants to play hyper aggro with you, then a Wiper could work. If you want one of your crab tanks to also be able to throw bombs, especially if they're going to be playing passively and just kind of playing around the crab, and so throwing bombs is something they're going to fall into a lot, you could go for the Splat Doolies instead. They do get slightly faster crab and also have a suction bomb. So if someone's willing to pick up Doolies, that could be a thing that they consider. I also don't think it'd be the worst idea to try and fit in something like a machine or a vanilla bucket if someone is so inclined. The machine especially is going to paint decently well with its fizzy bombs, and it's really good at crowding choke points and just keeping hitboxes in places. It's not a lethal bomb, but it's still a bomb that takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, usually with machine and solo queue, I'm usually able to get in very easily with the fizzy bomb trail.
If you're trying to really hold forward and feed, you could also run a zap for the tacticooler on Rainmaker. Okay. That is something that a lot of teams have, situationally played. Those are hopefully some more thoughts at any rate. Because I don't know exactly what your team is interested in playing, is willing to play.
Yeah, he is in the chat too. He asked a question, but I lost it because it rolled up.
Who was it?
One Legacy. He is the
Gotcha.
team captain.
I'm scrolling up and looking for it. What weapon with a bomb would you recommend? Carbon is usually swapped out for a backline on non-carbon maps. Gotcha. So with a bomb, I personally think T-Tech is really strong. It gives you splat bomb, it gives you a lot of paint, and it can follow up in aggressive fights if it needs to, or create traps. If you're looking for someone to just get the enemy team's attention, it doesn't have a bomb, but a 52 is a really strong idea. It's one of the strongest skirmishers in the game, and it's just going to kind of press forward and demand the enemy team's attention, which is what you might want to pair it with Carbon. And then you just run a couple of other things that have bombs instead. I do think Vanilla Slosher is doing pretty well right now. Like I said, Splat Doolies has a bomb. But the weapon pools are a little bit limited right now by there being as few kits as there are. So I think that's something that will, as the game gets more content added, the metagame will also expand. Do you think Nova would ever see use in competitive teams? Not unless they make the main weapon better at fighting, or if they make it better at painting. It just does not paint well enough to justify being that trash of a weapon in a combat situation. Having to hit that many shots and being all but guaranteed to miss one of them is a death sentence for teams that have a splatter shot that can get on top of you and hit all 3 shots and make them their first 3 shots.
Yeah, I was hoping Nova would get like a burst bomb and a bubbler, or a burst bomb and missiles, or something that makes it actually attractive.
Mm-hmm. Just needs more combat ability. Because that's the problem with the arrow spray too. Like, if it gets pushed, if it gets put any pressure on, it has to back up, or else it stays in a fight that it's going to lose. And not being able to control space, like it's one thing if you're not great at fighting at close range or something, but if you have, you know, enough range, like the Jet Squelcher or something, you can just kind of kite people back and still be a threat that way and still hold your ground. But if when someone pushes at you, you just crumple, that's not a useful weapon in a competitive setting. You have to be able to win at least the easy fights. And if you can't even rely on a weapon to do that, then all you're using it for is special spam, and that's a very, very niche thing to put on a team. Like, your whole team needs to be capable of taking fights if this one weapon that you're using isn't able to.
Is there any map and mode good for Nova right now at all?
So Nova, I mean, I'm sure there's some that are better than others, but Nova is in that situation where, like, it has a niche, like there is a thing that it does, but that thing that it does is simply not stronger than the alternatives, than many, many of the alternatives. It's kind of like my opinion on like Clash Blaster and tower control. Like, everyone's like, oh, it has a tower control niche. I'm like, I could run so many other weapons than the Clash Blaster. Like, sure, Clash Blaster isn't the worst thing on tower. It has some advantages, but I don't think that its disadvantages offset that at all. And I would rather have something else still. As long as there are, you know, 5 or 10 other weapons that you would rather have than that one, there's no reason to run that one, even if it's, you know, above average. So, I would say that, like, there are, you know, the thing that the Nova does is it scouts. It puts down a whole bunch of point sensors so that it can never get flanked. And that's, you know, value that it's adding to the team, but it's not as much value as being someone who's doing the flanking. It's being someone who can actually, like, get in range of something and take it out. Or of being able to hold its ground when someone pushes into its range, like a backliner can do. You try to push in against a Hydra, you're not going to be able to get there. When it shoots at you, you have to respect that. Even a Rapid, which is a slow killing weapon, it hits you from so far away and from around corners that when you get into its range, you have to respect it because it's going to be hitting you first. So there's got to be something that makes the opponent back up. If it's not like got an insane special output and the ability to kind of squeak by in fights the way that the juniors can, or the ability to spam subs especially to keep themselves relevant while they're farming for special, it just doesn't have that much of a place, I think, in competitive Splatoon. Anyway,
how about the slasher, tri-slasher? Does that usually work out for people?
The what tri-slasher combo?
Tri-slasher and carbon.
Those are two weapons that want to do largely the same thing, and so I feel like you're going to be stepping on each other's toes trying to play that role, especially since they both don't paint super well. So I would say that, like, the tri-slasher is kind of outcompeted by the carbon.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the other weapon I want to play eventually someday. If
yeah,
they ever put a
definitely like go for it because you're gonna know how to position with it. It's all about sharking and getting close to them. The easy part is winning the fight. The hard part is getting in position that you're close enough to win the fight. I mean, yes, Tri-Slosher also doesn't have a bomb, which is another reason that it's not seeing a ton of use right now. I think it would take another kit before more people are going to consider that again. Although you do still see it on some map modes. I would say, though, that if you're going to run a Tri-Slosher, you want it to be on a map that has, like, an inkjet niche, that has, like, a wall that's really good to get up over the top of. Like, I've seen people use it over the top of the wall on Flounder Heights, like, Platte. You get up onto that wall and look down at their ramp, and that's a really powerful position for clearing it out.
Yeah, I played like maybe 5 games of Tri-Slosher since the game came out, and Flounder was one of them. There was a tournament that we were in that was non-meta weapons only. So Tri-Slosher was one that I played.
Gotcha.
Weirdly enough, the Carbon was because it was considered top tier, so I couldn't play that.
Yeah. Do you have any questions before we close out here? Because at the top of the hour, my internet is in all likelihood going to crash. And so I was planning on just ending the stream right there.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if Legacy is still here on chat, but I don't. I've got a few pointers. I'm gonna talk to the team about trying some stuff out.
Do you offer the play along segment for Metafy sessions, or is that Tuesday? So that's on Tuesday primarily because we kill time for 45 minutes to get people into the stream before we start the VOD review. Because then what happens is you're like 30 minutes into the VOD review before you get the most of your audience, and they miss like everything you've talked about before. So that's really why that segment of it exists, but it is a benefit, for the players who are a part of it. For Metafy, we try to just focus on teaching as much as we possibly can, so that the time, that they're paying for is spent most efficiently. All right. Tornado Sandstorm asks, what weapon would you say has the greatest potential but is lacking due to its kit? I think Ballpoint is really, really powerful as a main weapon, and that its kit is what's holding it back right now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nautilus could absolutely pop off if it gets an aggressive kit. That could easily become meta. Trying to think. I could see Dapples being strong if they just gave it a long-range poking option that doesn't get paired with one of the worst specials in the game. Like, if they give that weapon certain kits, that could absolutely be disgusting. Tetras, too. Like, Tetras are not held back by their kit. They succeed in spite of their kit. And if you put anything strong on Tetras, it's going to be one of the most broken weapons ever. So they're probably never going to do that. Tent could also probably do with a better kit at the moment. But
thank you so much, Jim. I'm going to go, but
all right.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for reserving it with me. For those of you who are not aware, I do this full time. So if you want to get a lesson like that, either stop in the Discord and send me a DM to get on the Tuesday stream. Those are backed up to April at this point, but those are free. And then there's also a Metafy. Metafy is where you can get paid coaching from a lot of different coaches. It's a sort of central hub for you to be able to find esports coaches, and so that's also an opportunity available to you. Squid School also has YouTube channel, TikTok, Twitch, and a Twitter account. And I'm probably forgetting something else to talk about. Oh, I've got a Patreon as well. If you want to just straight up support the channel that way. So, putting all of that out there, that is how this lesson was reserved through Metafy. So if you're looking for one yourself, that's where you can go find it. And that is going to be it for me for tonight. Tune in tomorrow at noon Central, so that's 1 Eastern. And we'll be getting started with the second day of 20XX. I am on the analyst desk for that. It's a Splatoon major. And we're going to try and get through with fewer technical difficulties than we had day one. And it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to being able to focus more on what I'm talking about and less on, getting the screens to show exactly correctly. But I'm going to do a lot of practice tonight and make sure that I've got that down better than I did before I went in today. And hopefully it'll turn out a little bit more clean. So tune in there. That's on twitch.tv/Dapple Productions. I'm going to go https://twitch.tv/Dapple Productions. Go give them a follow. They are one of the biggest event organizing groups in the Splatoon scene. Very, very important and very good at what they do. Definitely go and support them, especially tomorrow. Let's see if we can get that viewership number up going pretty high. Let's see if we can make that look like a more viable prospect for Splatoon streamers, because it's hard to get the attention of people who are willing to do production. And I think seeing some novel ideas start to work might change some people's minds, that maybe that's something that they can get into. So, all right, that's all of the shilling that I'm going to be doing today. Go Team Milk Chocolate. If you're from another Team Chocolate, I mean, you're wrong, but we'll be nice to you. We're going to go and try and find someone to raid here. It looks like Rafa is playing at the moment. And Rafa has entirely too few viewers. Unacceptable. We're going to add a whole bunch of them to Rafa's stream. So, Rafa is a high-level Luna Blaster player. If you're a Blaster player, definitely check out his channel. Make sure that you're following him, because you will learn a lot from watching. And he's just also fun to play with. So, catch you later, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Oh, and for YouTube folk, here is Rafa's... Oh, shoot. Rafa KP.